Friday. That means my partner this morning is Holly Thompson from Salem Crossing. Good morning, Holly.
Good morning.
Happy Friday.
Woohoo.
Happy Friday. Yay, 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 yay. Yippee, yay, 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 right?
Yay.
I'm excited about it. And it's a rainy Friday, but we're not complaining.
No.
We're only explaining we need more rain, right?
We do.
Well, we need
We
it.
don't have enough.
If we wouldn't be getting it, we wouldn't need it, right? Or,
That's right.
Is that right? Did I say that right?
We're going to go with that.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
It's all right. All good.
Yeah.
All good. All positive. All right. Let's thank our positive sponsors.
We'd like to thank Meadowview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Roses, Fox Purley Wealth Management, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Marshall Monuments, McAllister Land Consulting, First Harrison Bank, Louisville Bats, Schneck Hospital, and Springs Valley Bank and Trust. Thanks so much to our wonderful sponsors.
Absolutely. Thank you to our great sponsors. We're on to Friday. And first of all, I want to say they had a successful Lincoln Day dinner last night. They had it at Southern Hills Church, and great time. And I'll give you the speaker's name just a second here. Hang on. I got it. I just don't want to get it wrong. Make sure I get it right. Hang on just a second here. All right. We're going to get this right. I want to make sure I don't say it wrong. Okay. Here we go. It was actually Republican State Chair Lane Keeling. And so anyway, and they've been very busy up there. And so it was very exciting to have her come for speaker. Mm-hmm. So very good and good turnout. Well done.
Awesome.
Also, ball games or baseball games are full throttle. I saw track being run at the schools. Let's see here. You've got tennis, you've got golf, and I think that the weather, if it keeps cooperating, maybe you can get a lot of things done.
Yeah.
You want to get everything done, all of those in, because you don't want to have to do remakes, at the end of the season,
It's hard to catch up then.
Very difficult. Yeah. So, all right, let's move on to the 25th day of April. Today is Child Care Professionals Day.
God bless them.
Yes. Child Care Professionals Day. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was like my first job was babysitter.
Was it really?
A babysitter.
I babysat one time for a couple in Jeffersonville. They had a little 2-year-old daughter, and it was when I was going to college. So it just gave me a little bit of extra money. Mm-hmm. And they lived in a great neighborhood. I'd be able to take her outside for walks and just enjoy the weather. Mm-hmm. And it was good times.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I loved babysitting. Mm-hmm. It was so much fun, and playing and having fun. And then, it was always hard though, when it came to bedtime,
Oh yeah. Nap time.
Mm-hmm. Those struggles were real,
Yes,
yeah.
The struggle was real.
Yeah. Yeah, I tried to wear them out so much that they slept. They couldn't sleep. So, Child Care Professionals Day. Hats off to all those out there that are the professionals, right?
Yes. That would not be me.
Yeah. DNA Day. DNA Day.
DNA Day.
Yeah.
DNA, like the DNA strands?
That's what I'm thinking. That. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. DNA.
Have you ever looked into your genealogy?
Oh my goodness. Yes. I'm related to some cool people.
I love genealogy.
Davy Crockett, number one.
Yes,
yeah,
really?
Yeah. I believe Abraham Lincoln. There's some really cool ones that, yeah.
I have back on my maternal grandmother's side, it goes all the way back to John Adams and John Quincy Adams.
How cool. Mm-hmm. That's cool. That's cool. Well, we're not too far. The Davy Crockett is really, my dad, we always talked about the Davy Crockett. And I always feel like when I'm in the woods that I have to channel him.
Yeah.
Show me where to go. You know what I mean? Show me which directions. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or like whenever I'm doing, like wood or, cutting, or I don't cut wood, but like if I'm stacking wood or moving wood, I always feel like, or when I'm doing something pioneer, like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Pulling up a weed. There we go. That's right. I'm channeling my Davy Crockett. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty cool though. So yeah, it is fun to see your DNA, and
it really is.
Sometimes if you know it, it kind of makes sense on things.
I actually got my my DNA tested through 23andMe, and then also Ancestry.com to know like what my percentages are or whatever. Mm-hmm. I love doing that. That was really neat.
Did they match? I mean, were they similar? like,
Yes.
oh, that's cool.
Yes.
See that? I think that would make it
Mhm.
a little more accurate. You know what I mean? Because some of that they say you have to watch.
Yeah.
You know.
And my like obviously like 99% of me is like northeastern Europe. So England and Scotland and Norway, like that kind of area. I have some French and German and stuff like that thrown in, and then 1% is Native American.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Which I trace my genealogy back. I've not been able to confirm it or not to Pocahontas.
Yeah, I know.
But
I'm
not
with her.
100%. So I don't really claim it because I've not been able to confirm that.
Well, I do have her too. I have
That's
I have
awesome.
Pocahontas.
So see, we're related.
Yeah. So I feel like, yeah, absolutely. I knew it. I knew we were kinfolk.
That's right.
Did not know exactly how, but I knew we were. I knew it, Holly. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah. Which, what an honor to be related to
Oh, yeah.
Pocahontas. Good
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. This is East meets West Day. Okay. Shows football. Okay.
Okay. Interesting.
All right. Hairstylist Appreciation Day.
Yes.
Yes.
Goodness knows I am not a hairstylist. I'm not. Just not. And go there and they make me look and feel pretty and they know how to do it.
Well, I think like I would be able to wash your hair. You know what I mean? I think that's where it stops.
With the massage.
Yeah, with the massage, I would put
Mhm.
lean you back in the chair.
Yeah.
Get your hair, I don't think I'd get too many people, drowned in wet. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I could, wash your hair and scrub your hair and do all that and then send you over to someone
the
to
cutting and the
part, the cutting.
The styling. No.
Yeah, I don't want to touch scissors.
No, my aunt is she's a licensed beautician, and I don't have the right. Everything's about angles and blah 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 with that cutting, and I'm just like I would just like cut a straight line and call it a day.
So having an aunt as a hairstylist, is that something that like your family? I mean, like, have you do you take advantage of her?
Not so much anymore.
You know what I mean? But like
younger years, she cut all of the family's hair.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like that's just like a rite of passage. You know what I mean? Like once someone becomes a hairstylist in your family, you have that, right?
Yes.
I mean, you have that where you just.
She cut everybody's hair.
Yeah.
If we had like prom or something, we went to her. She did the hair for prom and all the things.
Yeah. And I think that would just be ideal.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, it'd be ideal.
Great.
Yeah. Hey, can you get me in? Well, absolutely. You know what I mean? Or after hours, you know what I mean? Or
right. Yeah.
I just feel like family, that'd be fantastic.
Because it'd be evenings, weekends, whenever she had free
sure.
time.
Yeah. I think that'd work out well.
Nice.
So yeah, definitely. That would be nice. Holocaust Remembrance Day. If you go to DC and they have the Holocaust Museum, I encourage everyone to do that.
Absolutely.
It's very interesting for sure. Here we go.
I had when I began my career after college, when I was working in Virginia, there was a building that I worked at, and one of the residents that lived there, she still had the tattoo on her arm with her number.
Oh wow.
And that it really, because you're brought up and you're raised and you're taught in history class and blah blah blah, but to actually be able to sit down and talk to somebody and a whole different story. I mean, it brings everything so real,
Right. Well, one of my daughters, the Salem goes to Salem's middle school goes to DC, and one of my daughters came back and she's like, she sat on the edge of the bed. She's like, I've got to tell you this. She said, and she told the story because she met a lady that told her story. And so she shared it with me, and she's like, and she was crying, and I thought this is, in middle school, what I mean? This had such an impact on you, this lady telling her story. And that was, not taking away from a book, but that's more
that's
education right there. Yeah. Just to hear the story. And she's like, telling me, and it was very intense. Yeah. Very
much so.
Yeah. So Holocaust Remembrance Day, International Financial Independence Awareness Day.
Woo, that was a mouthful.
Yes.
Goodness.
Yes. International Financial Independence Awareness Day. Well, you become very aware when you
when that bank, when that statement comes out, and you're very aware where you stand.
you're very aware of that, right? This is also National Arbor Day.
Oh.
Now this we're supposed to plant a tree.
Plant a tree.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I need to plant some trees because last year I planted some fruit trees, and I need to plant some more fruit trees.
Yeah, you were going to do that. Yeah, that was on your you were going to.
It's on my bucket list of things I need to get done. Yes, I need to get it done. I have a little to-do list.
I don't want to sit over here and say, I remember you saying that like a month ago or so, saying you were going to do this.
Yeah.
Not to be Holly, I've got things like that too. It's no, I mean, in your mind, it's like, okay, I can get this done, but then it's like time.
Well, it's like even last night I went home thinking, okay, like all the way drive home, like, okay, I'm going to get this done tonight. This is my focus. I'm getting this done tonight. And as soon as you hit the door, your focus has to change to something else. I'm like, okay, all right, cool. Let's work on this today then.
Yeah, I think you have to be. I think that's part of it. I mean, you might have like idea of things you're going to do. Had a week of that this week, like things that I was one direction and then totally had to go another direction. I think sometimes you got to be able to.
I have a lot of to do or in progress projects that I'm juggling.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay,
well,
maybe I have too much on my plate.
Well, I always call it too many balls in the air. You know what I mean? That's what and I feel like sometimes, that happens. We all are guilty of it,
We are.
And that's where sometimes it just,
yeah,
those balls start falling down.
They do. And you're like, okay. So now this project I started a month ago, we're still in the middle of.
It's all right.
Still in the middle of. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Right.
It's fine. It's all fine.
It's going to work out.
Yes.
Yeah. National Crayola Day. We should have had our Crayola. Remember our CEO that we got to talk to?
Yes.
I got to get him. on the, yes, should have had him.
We need the Crayola crayons.
Yeah, I know. Because they're bringing back some new Crayola crayons. Well, actually, some of the OGs are coming back. So that's cool. And I'm trying to remember the colors. I remember one was like a dandelion. And that they had like kind of put in retirement. They're bringing that back. They're bringing several back. So yeah, I need to get. He was so interesting.
My daughter's Easter basket that I did for her this year. Of course, she's a teenager and an older teenager, and so I'm like, what do I do for her Easter basket this year? And plus she's diabetic, so I didn't want to fill it up with candy or whatever.
Right.
And she loves drawing and painting and stuff like that.
Ooh.
So I found these really cool like artist markers or whatever, and I did like 3 or 4 different styles. Like there was chunky, there was the thin ones, so I did a whole bunch of stuff, and she absolutely loved it.
Oh yeah.
And her Easter basket, I did her Easter basket. She wanted a new trash can for her room, a small trash can for her room. That was her Easter basket.
Yeah,
was the trash can.
That's practical and yes, and something that is she's going to use. Yeah,
but she loved all the different markers and things for her artwork.
So I have to ask. Okay, so while you're buying her markers, did you have to buy some for yourself? Because I know you. And you love a good marker.
I do.
You love that kind of office supply, anything like that kind of stuff.
Anybody who knows me well enough knows that I.
So did you have to buy 2 of everything so you have some? You didn't?
Not.
Oh wow! Wow! Stick to the plan. You stick to the list. You stick to the plan.
Yes.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
I did
because I know. No, I mean, when something's near and dear, you know what I mean. If I'm buying you shoes, I might be wanting to get myself a pair of those.
Yeah.
Isn't it horrible when you're gift giving? I know, isn't it silly when you're gift giving and then you find? No, here's the thing: you can shop and you don't find anything, but then when you find something, when you're going shopping for to purchase something, a gift, then you see everything. It's like, oh my goodness! I mean, and you're like, and you have to like say no.
It's dangerous for me to go in the stores when it's back to school shopping.
I know. Yeah, I know exactly what aisle you'll be in. Yeah,
I'll be smelling the Crayola crayons. And the fresh pencils.
Oh.
The fresh wooden pencils. But the crayon.
You little office supply lady.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. See,
well, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you that you actually purchased these markers and
Thank
did all
you.
of these, the different sizes, and you stayed focused. You stuck to the plan for her, not for
Yes.
yourself.
Right.
I'm very proud of you.
But it's
And I
probably
noticed that. I mean,
yes,
obviously,
thank you. I appreciate that. But it's probably the reason my love for office supplies and crayons and everything is probably the reason my initial thought when I went into college was I wanted to be like an elementary education teacher. And I thought, you know,
Oh,
all the supplies all the time, right?
absolutely.
But I decided that that probably wasn't the profession for me and
Mhm.
switched it up. So,
Well,
but
yeah.
I was raised around office supplies. My mom and stepdad were accountants, and I was
Mhm.
raised in their office pretty much. And so I always had office supplies. That was my free time. What they would give me to do, they'd give me office supplies to write and draw and
Sure.
things like that. So I think that created the monster a little bit.
Well, I kind of got similar background. My mom, was the office manager here at the station, and just always had the pens, the pencils, and the markers, and all of that. And I was given that a lot too to keep me busy, But and which I do like it,
Yes.
but I'm not as much as you do. I know. I know
Like there's nothing better than a good pen.
just can't. Well, no, I do like a good pen. Yeah,
Nothing better than a
I
good
know.
pen.
And then it's funny because the other day I was using someone else's good pen, and I kept thinking. So I said, "Could I just keep it?" They were like, "No, that's my." And here's what's funny: "No, that's my good pen." You hear people say, "No, that's my good
That's
pen,"
a good pen.
or when they loan it to you, "That's my good pen. I want it back." You know what I
Yes.
mean? Isn't that funny? Because
And I'll stand there and wait for my good pen back.
good pen, people do. Yes, they do. But it is so, and on an innocence, sometimes you're writing something, you forget, and you just put the pen. You know what I mean? Or on their defense, you know what I mean? Like I can see, like you let your good pen go to someone,
Right.
and then they don't realize it, and they just put it in their pocket or whatever, put it in their purse.
Right.
Not thinking that they just, it becomes a habit of that.
At work, there's several of us that love a good pen or office supplies, and so if somebody gets a new ink pen, then we're all writing with it, and they're like, "Look, write with this. Look how smooth it is." And so what ends up happening is, so now when we buy office supplies for ourselves, we usually buy like a pack of the pens, and then we share.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah.
So that everybody's not jealous.
Right.
You know what I mean? You keep that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very well played. Yeah. Everybody gets one.
Yes.
Nobody's going to be left out here.
Right. Yes. So that's what we do now.
Yeah. But it is kind of one of those things. Yeah.
It is.
Well, and then when you're talking about office supplies like paper clips and all that, and you don't see paper clips like you used to.
Oh, I still have. I still. Use
and what's the
clips all
ones
the
that like they're like it's like a bigger paper clip, but it's almost like a clip.
Binder clip.
Binder clips. Yeah.
I still use binder clips and paper clips like crazy.
Well, I had a grandson and he kept saying, "I want a paper clip. I want a paper clip." So I want a big paper clip. So I brought like, well, first of all, I brought a little paper clip, and he's like, "No, I want a big paper clip." So then I had to go buy a big paper clip. So then I'm like, "Okay, paper clip. No, that's not the one I want." And he was meaning a binder clip. Yeah. And so I couldn't remember what it was called, but like an alligator mouth or whatever. Yeah, that's what. But
now, I'm also kind of particular on my paper clips. I prefer the jumbos over the small ones. If it's going to be a small one, I like the color plastic coated ones.
Yeah.
For the smaller ones, but I like the bigger ones.
We agree.
Jumbo size.
We agree. We always bought the jumbo ones here, and it's funny because then but a lot of people don't. And so whenever, like here at the station, when we would bring something in a different place, and they would always want our paper clips because they were bigger. I remember that.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's funny that people that deal with paper clips and that kind of stuff are a little bit. It's funny how attentive they are to that.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
Oh, you have the big paper clips.
Yes. And if it's the jumbo clips that kind of have the little grippies on them.
Yeah.
Have the little ridges, because some are just smooth, solid, but some have the little ridges. Those are even better. Hose paper, the best.
Completely. Yep.
To me, the small paper clips are good for 2 or 3 sheets.
Yeah.
But not when you have multiples.
Right. How do you feel about a good stapler?
Oh, I have a regular stapler, and then
you had like stars in your eyes.
Yes, I have my regular size stapler, and then I have my heavy duty.
Don't even
stapler.
play me with a good time. Don't even.
And hole puncher. Gotta have a good hole puncher.
I got a new one of those the other day. Man, that sets the world on fire.
Gotta have the good hole puncher.
All the things you can do.
Yeah. It's awesome.
It's funny because I misplaced one, and one of my girls said, "Mom, go buy a new one. Go buy one." Well, I was like, "I'm gonna find this old one. I know it's around here somewhere." Couldn't find it, so
I was at Mom's the other day, and she was finishing up tax season or whatever, so she was back in her office, and she had a ruler on her desk, and it was one that I remember from childhood. It's like the triangular shaped.
cute.
It was wooden, and it was the triangular shaped. And I said, "Oh, I remember that ruler. I have always loved that ruler." Well, it was actually my stepdad's who passed away last year. It was, and so she's like, "Here, you can have it." I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I was so excited. Yeah.
So is it at home or at work?
It's at home right now.
Oh, I love that.
It's at home right now.
That's very sweet.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how little things like that, like you remember something from childhood that like they didn't even, your mom probably didn't even,
That's like a mixing bowl. It's been like a couple months ago, and I was putting dishes away or something in her house, and a mixing bowl that I remember from childhood, her making chocolate cake or cornbread or what, everything she used this mixing bowl. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I love," and she gave me that mixing bowl too.
Well, look at you. That's wonderful.
And it's the one I use the most at home now.
Great
that
memories.
Mixing bowl.
And which you do a lot.
Yes. Yes.
You have a lot of needs for a mixing bowl. Yeah.
Yes.
So how apropos.
Yeah, right.
Perfect. All right. So today is also National Hairball Awareness Day. Hairball awareness. When your cat's over there.
The cat.
Yeah.
I can't.
Hairball.
I can't.
I think there's things like I don't know, and I'm watch. Okay, I need to put a disclaimer, okay, because I don't know if this is right or not. For some reason, are you supposed to like give them like a little or let them like lick a little bit of Vaseline or something like to help with the hairballs? Isn't that right or something?
No idea.
I think there's something. I don't know. I don't want to say it wrong and everybody come after me.
I just know I have a very weak stomach, so whenever that, if that is.
So do you look away?
Like, oh yeah.
Oh no, I have to see it.
Husband, help.
I have to watch.
No, it's like, no. Oh, Becky, no.
I gotta see how this is gonna play out. I have to see how this is gonna play out. I mean, I've gotta. What is? It's like.
No.
It's like those mystery machines.
It would have
what's coming out.
No, it has me run into the bathroom.
Look at it. You know how those quarter machines, you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see how it's gonna play out. How is this gonna play out? Yeah.
No, can't do it. My stomach is too weak.
And then the cat looks at you like, like what's to say? There's not much to say. Nothing much to say.
No, nothing.
You know what I mean?
Say.
Yeah. So National Hairball Awareness Day. Yeah. So I think that they tried to avoid those.
Yes.
The reason, and listen again, I'm no expert. Okay. I've just seen many. I think because they clean themselves, and of course that hair gets into their mouth.
Especially if they're a long-haired cat.
Yeah.
It's worse.
I think. You got the hairball. But
yeah,
but I don't look away. I
have to.
Okay. I'm sorry if anybody's eating breakfast. That might be a little, okay. National Hairball Awareness Day. Okay. I'm okay with it. National, gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? Right? All right. National Historic Marker Day. Love that.
There's our markers.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's probably meaning historical
marker. Yeah, like, not your great grandfather's highlighter, Holly, over there. And which I'm very impressed of your mom keeping all of this. That's she's everything I'm not on that.
Historical markers are not large enough for me. Like you're past them before you even know it, and you can read it.
Well, and the writing is it's
so tiny.
Yeah.
And it's not really always the best places to pull over and like be able to read it or whatever. They need to make them bigger.
That was something that my family would do. Sometimes we pull over to see markers. You know what I mean? That was kind of cool. I don't really know. I was little and I really don't remember if I understood exactly, but I knew that this was something big.
I noticed going to work a couple of days ago, there's one in town that's broken.
Yes.
That needs replaced.
Over by the high school.
Yes. Needs replaced.
And that one, I worked to help get that one. And that actually was it was a lot to do. It was it was supposed to be done by, I think it was around the COVID time. So that was put off a little bit, but finally got up and I saw that too. Yeah.
It needs replaced.
Yeah. They will. National Mini Patty.
Really?
Yeah, day. Did we not just talk about
we
that?
did.
Did we not?
We did. Off air.
Yeah.
It was an off
Off
air
air.
conversation.
Off air. Yeah.
Yeah.
National Plumbers Day. Can't
You
beat a
know,
good
when
plumber.
you need one, you need one.
Well, and then
they are a godsend.
I know, and there's not enough of them. You know,
No.
this is something that I feel like we really need to emphasize for anybody. You know,
Yeah.
and talk about hairballs
Oh my goodness.
in the drain. Right? It's
Oh my
funny if you've
goodness.
ever talked to a plumber. They're very interesting,
Mhm.
and they really will like all the things that they see.
Mhm.
It's, yeah,
Mhm.
you talk about yeah a lot. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, National Plumbers Day. Hats off to all the plumbers out there.
How often do you pull your sink drain out and clean down in there?
Well, when the girls were, you know, more active at home, yeah, a lot. Yeah, all that hair.
You
But
have
yeah,
to.
so yeah, and which is, I know again, if people are eating breakfast, but yeah, that was kind of, yeah. What about you? Yeah.
Probably not often enough.
Well, I don't think anybody does
Like
that often enough.
I don't
Yeah.
think that's like clean the sink and never in the regular like once a week or whatever, but probably not pulling
Shower.
the stuff the drain
Yeah.
the sink drain enough.
Mhm.
Probably not enough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can identify that. Yeah, that's probably something we need to do.
Mhm.
And I think most plumbers, like they're just like, don't be flushing all this stuff. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I think sometimes people don't remember to do that. You know what I mean? And some of the things that people try to flush.
Well, and there's even toilet papers
I
that
speak.
are better.
We speak for the plumbers,
Right. We speak for the plumber. There's even toilet paper that's better than others, and you know, because I had to have a plumber last year come and do some work, and you know, one of the top name brand
Yes.
toilet papers, he's like, do not use
Yeah, I know.
this.
Yeah.
It's bad for your plumbing and it'll stop your. So I had to quit using that.
That's funny that you
brand.
say that is because that's exactly what mine said too. Because actually, I know this, you know, I don't know. I hate to hurt the paper industry, but they say the cheaper is actually like better. That's what I was told.
It disintegrates or dissolves or whatever better than the heavy ply, you know. I'm not going to throw any names
The
out there. I
towel.
don't want to.
The towel. Yeah. All right. National Plumbers Day. National Steak Day.
Oh,
how do you like your steak, Holly?
Medium well.
Me too. Yes.
Yum,
and the
yum,
crowd
yum.
said yes.
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 I had a steak when I went down to Georgia, you know, a few weeks ago or whatever, and had a steak, and it was not medium well.
Oh no!
It was more medium to medium rare, and I'm like, I can't eat this, so I sent it back, and it was a very high-end steak restaurant, right? So most steak places, they take it back, they put it back on the grill or whatever, they microwaved it.
No,
I couldn't eat it. They microwaved it.
Oh, it would have been tough then.
Yeah, I was so disappointed because I was so, you know how your mouth just waters for that good fresh steak.
Yeah,
my mouth was watering for it, and when they brought it back out from the microwave, I was like, you just ruined this for me.
What did they say? Did they say?
Ugh. I didn't say anything. I was so disgusted. I was just like, obviously he'd seen I didn't eat it. Wow. I didn't eat any of it.
Oh my!
I took one. Well, I took one bite of, and I was like, mm-mm. It was like rubber.
Oh no! Yeah. Yuck. Well, I like it when it's a good steak, and you know it's funny. They always ask you, do you want A1 sauce or? Let me see here. I'm going to say it. Which is your sauce? I said it right, didn't I?
You said it right.
Okay. Worcestershire
sauce.
Yes. And I'm like, well, I sure hope I don't. They say, then when they ask me, do you need that? I'm like, well, I hope I don't. You know what I mean? I hope the steak is good enough. If you get a good enough steak, you don't need it.
If you get a good enough steak and they put that garlic butter on top, where the garlic butter is just running off of the sides of the steak, that's all you need. But like if I'm grilling at home or whatever, I do A1 and Heinz 57.
Oh. Have you ever, and I'm not judging people, and I've been to lunch with people that put ketchup on their steak. And I'm not judging that because I do love ketchup, but I don't want it on my steak. I don't want
ketchup on my steak. I'd rather have a steak
but
sauce,
I'm not mad if I put up my fries and it touches my steak.
Yeah,
I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
Not mad about that. No.
I ain't gonna be mad.
No.
All right, National Telephone Day. Wow, we've come a long way with telephones, right?
We have.
Landlines to now
I know. I remember when I was young, they still my we also obviously had the rotary phone, and there was still party lines at that time. And my aunt, she actually had a party line, so you could pick up the phone and you would have to listen to see if anybody else was on the, because it was cheaper to do the party line than to have the private line.
Mhm.
And so she still had the party line, so you had to get on there and hope that nobody else was on the phone yet.
Now, is this the aunt that was the hairstylist?
No, different aunt.
Oh, because boy, she would be able to spill the tea, wouldn't she? If she
I have 3 aunts on my mom's side and 3 aunts on
hairstylists
my
know
dad's
the
side.
great stories,
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
Oh
and
my
so
goodness.
do they
You
not?
have to
Right?
keep those secrets
I know.
close to your
Yeah.
heart. What you're told.
I remember having my dad got us a long cord
Oh yes.
so that we could, we could just
Because mine had to go from the kitchen all the way to my bedroom. I mean, it was a long cord.
long cord,
Long
yes,
cord.
long cord, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
They were fun though. I missed the rotary phones.
I
And then it
know.
went to the buttons, but there was just something about clicking that rotary phone,
Yeah, yeah,
and hearing that sound.
yeah. Well, there's a blast from the past.
Those
I
were the
think.
days,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. National Telephone Day. We've come a long way, baby. I have one of the first like cellular phone. It's like in this big black bag.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Yeah.
That was the first one my stepdad
Yeah.
had, was in the big black bag. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
National Zucchini Bread Day. Ooh,
Yum.
love zucchini bread.
Yum.
Yum. I don't think it's made enough. I don't
No,
think
it's
people
not.
make it enough.
It's not.
Let's see here. Red.
And I have shredded zucchini from last year in my freezer. Maybe I should make some today.
You need to make
I
some
should make
bread.
some.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. National Red Hat Society Day. I love the Red Hat ladies.
Oh yes.
Oh my goodness, you talk
Mhm.
about a ball of fun.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are funny.
They
And
are
they're fun to watch.
good group of ladies.
World Penguin Day. I love penguins.
I like penguins.
They were talking about there was a new study they were doing with penguins. I'm trying to remember what they were doing, but it's funny how they can learn and what they were just in the news. Penguins were just in the news the other day, and I'm trying to remember what the story was. But World Penguin Day. Hats off to all the little penguins out there.
I like how they hold the eggs on the top of their feet so the eggs don't freeze on the ice.
Yes, yeah. If you've watched Happy Feet,
yes.
Remember that?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I was thinking more of the documentaries than the.
Oh no, I'm thinking of hang on, our guy that I love. Robin Williams.
Yes.
Yes, gotta love that. Happy Feet.
Yeah.
Gotta love all of that.
Yeah. They're so cute. They're just so cute. Watch them jumping in the water and stuff.
Yeah, and yeah.
I loved it when I went to Alaska and got to see the other birds that are water birds, and it's just unique.
Yeah, I have to agree. Yeah, I've not been to Alaska, but I've seen them at the zoo.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I've seen them at the zoo.
Seen them at the zoo.
I feel like
I could just sit there and watch them for hours.
Oh yeah,
for hours.
Yeah, they've got things to do.
They do.
I feel like they're always busy.
You know
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I wonder how many miles they get in a day. I bet how many steps they get in a day.
That'd be interesting to know, wouldn't it?
Yeah, if you put a little tracker on one, how many steps they get in one day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I guess, is that a step? How would that be?
How would they count their steps?
Yeah, step, or step. I don't know. All right, Holly, here's something that women think is embarrassing, but men don't actually care about. I don't even know if I'll be able to do this. You know what I mean? Because I do get embarrassed like that sometimes. You know what I mean? If it's, do you sometimes?
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to have to be bold, okay?
Okay.
Here's something that women think is embarrassing, but men do not care about, which I have learned all about, like how it's total difference between the boys and women, a total difference, right? All right. Okay. There's a list of online things that women find embarrassing, but men don't actually care about. Okay. Number 1, people seeing your house when it's not perfectly cleaned.
100%.
I agree.
100% agree.
Yeah. Mine don't care. And
yeah, the husbands don't care.
No.
I do though.
I do too.
Mm-hmm.
I do too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Number 2, sneezing naturally.
I don't really care one way or the other, depending on the sneeze. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, because sometimes I sneeze and I don't make any sound, and then
Uh-huh.
other sneezes. So I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent on that one.
Well, it says some ladies actually hold their sneezes in. That's
Hmm.
not good for you.
That's probably what I do. I hold my
Hold your
sneezes
sneeze
in.
in.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't, because I don't think it's good for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? I used
Hmm.
to try to, you know what I mean, more
Hmm.
so. Well, first of all, like I try to look away, or like you're supposed to look up at the light, and it'll stop you from sneezing.
Hmm.
So like if I look at
Feel
the
one
light,
coming
if you
on.
see me at a meeting and I'm looking at the light and something's going on, there's going to be a sneeze coming down the room. Right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So sneezing, naturally, men don't care. Women are a little bit embarrassed about it. Number 3, passing gas or burps.
100%.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Number 4, there's driver's license photo.
Um. Now, well, historically, there's been some photos that I didn't care too much about, but I don't know. I don't care about my photos. Now is fine. I mean, don't you think that one's fine?
That's really good. Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah,
I'm not embarrassed by it.
yeah. I
I'm
don't
fine with it.
care. I don't care. These are
Yeah,
things that
I don't care. Who's gonna
possibly
see it?
that women think are embarrassing, but men don't actually care. I don't care about my driver's license. Yeah, I don't care. You know what I mean? It's not
It's
the
fine.
best photo, but I don't care.
No.
Yeah. Number 5, re-wearing the same outfit. Mm,
Yeah.
yeah, we care about that.
Yeah. We care about that. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you were gonna like. I wondered how if we were gonna be honest here. I wondered if.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, we do. Men don't care. They don't
No.
care. They don't care. Good luck even getting them to change the outfit.
It's like, do the sniff test. Is it good?
Good. Yeah,
Good.
yeah, it's good.
We're
It's good. They don't
good.
care. They don't care. They don't care. All right. Number 6, being at a party and wearing the same outfit as someone else.
That's kind of, yeah.
Yeah, men. I don't think men care,
No,
but
men don't care.
women care a little bit
Yes.
more. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
It's like, oh,
Oh, oh,
oh.
oh.
Yeah, that would be that. Yeah, that bothers me a little bit.
Yeah, I've seen where you just kind of kind of embrace it, just kind of, what I
Hmm.
mean, just like,
Hmm.
okay, okay, have the
Yeah.
same good taste,
Right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, I kind of, yeah, but I could see where women, yeah,
Hmm.
definitely.
Hmm.
Number 7, anything fashion related, or anything fashion. I guess wearing the same outfit as someone else, or anything fashion related.
Like the same hat, the same
Same,
earrings, the
yeah,
same. Yeah,
yeah,
I can see
yeah.
that.
I can too. Yeah.
Because you want to be unique. You want to be
Hmm.
you.
Yeah. Yeah. Number 8, an acne flare up, a bad one, or just a raging pimple.
You know,
A raging one, raging.
those one pimples that come up and they produce a quarter size red area on your face, and then those are like, you just want to cover it up.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
there it
want to
is.
cover it up.
Yeah. So men do not care, but women actually think it's embarrassing. Now, I think on that, I think men do care more on that too, don't you? A little bit.
My
You think?
husband would.
Yeah, a little
Hmm.
bit. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
on some of that.
Hmm.
Yeah. I'm not saying that we wouldn't maybe care a little bit more, but
We would care more,
but
I think they would care
yeah, I
about
do
it.
too.
Hmm.
Number 9, scars, stretch marks, or cellulite. Definitely women care. Do you think more, or do you think men?
I think
What?
if it's visible in your clothes,
Well, I think
how
this
visible is it in your clothes that you're
clothing.
wearing?
Well,
You
true.
know?
Yeah. Well, like the cellulite on men, they have hairy legs, so you
Hmm.
couldn't really see that, right?
Hmm.
Is that
Right.
true? Kind of.
True.
Yeah. So
True.
I mean, and I don't think we have. Usually, we don't have hairy legs.
Well, I think it's the stretch marks. Like, if I have stretch marks, I'm probably going to wear one piece versus a two piece, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Or if I have stretch marks on the legs, then I'm probably going to wear longer shorts.
Yeah.
Um, stretch marks under the arms, probably going to wear long.
Yeah.
So I do worry about it. Now, when I'm on vacation, it's whatever.
But do you think
Nobody's.
men do too? Probably, maybe a little. I don't know. I
I
don't think they do.
don't think as much. No.
No.
Mm-mm.
On the scars, I have a little bitty scar on my left shoulder from the rotator cuff surgery. And like people will ask me like, what's that from? You know what I mean? And that kind of sometimes will bug me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's just like, well, not that I don't want to tell you. It's just like, oh, you saw it. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, so I think that's kind of a part that I get a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
It's not that big, but it's still, it's
No.
right there. You know what I mean? And it's
And it
just
kind
like,
of blends in.
yeah, I try to make it. I try to blend it in, but sometimes people will ask me, you know what I mean? And you know,
You ought to develop
I
some
need to make a
elaborate
story. Yeah. Well, you remember my shark encounter? I should say that he
Yes.
got
He got a hold
one of the
of you
tooth.
and you
Yeah.
escaped him.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Make a fancier story, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's true. True. Much more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Scars, stretch marks, or cellulites. Number 10, their tummy, pooches, or bellies in general. I definitely think women think a lot more than men on that.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's not, we're not trying to say that some men don't, you know what I mean?
Of course.
But, and I think to a degree, but I think that women, what our topic is something that women think a little is more embarrassing, but men don't actually care about. I think that's probably true on that. Do you?
I think so.
Okay. Number 11, eating a lot and finishing your plate. Also eating in front of people in certain cases.
You know, when I have to go to a fancy dinner, I feel very backwards. You know what I mean?
No, this is interesting. What do you mean?
Well, because
do tell.
you go to a fancy dinner, right? Like if I'm out with the higher ups, right?
Yeah.
And you're served in courses. You have the multiple forks, the multiple spoons and knives, and da 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 da. I feel very uncomfortable. Like, and I think it's all how you were raised. Like I was raised, here's your plate, here's your fork, go eat, have fun. I was not raised where we served in courses. So when I have to make sure I use my salad fork with my salad and my dinner fork with my dinner and this and this, the dessert, I get very uncomfortable. Am I going to be using the wrong silverware? Am I going to make too much noise on the plate? Am I going to lay the silverware improperly on the plate? Or I start getting very uncomfortable because I wasn't raised in a formal dining setting. Does that make sense? So it makes me uncomfortable.
So, but do you eat a lot? Like, do you finish or?
It depends on what it is. It really depends on what it is.
Well, my mom was all about that. Like, so you know what I mean? I don't even think twice about it. You know what I mean? But I do notice that I finish my plate. I have no trouble.
I know
Usually.
I know I was raised, you don't want to be wasteful with your food, right?
That's me, yeah.
But my parents weren't to the extremes of some people where you aren't able to get up before the last drop's gone. Like, like if I got full, mom and dad be like, okay, you can be done.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't really raised that way.
Yeah.
So
I was, I feel like, well, of course, we used to have like a star on the refrigerator, the Clean Plate Club, and that was like to encourage us to make sure we eat, right? Because we always ate really late and, and everybody was kind of, over it. But anyway, I think my mom would more in the manners, because she was all about that, would leave a little bit of her food. Like that's kind of more like the manners. Like you leave a little bit, like you don't eat it all necessarily. It looks a little more, but I'm not that person. I'm
not that person.
No, I'm going to eat it all. You know what I mean? Especially if it's good. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, but especially when someone else prepares it for you, it's just such a treat, and it's such a nice, surprise or gesture. So good when someone else fixes food for you, and so, yeah, and
it could depend on what culture you were brought up in too.
Yeah.
Some cultures you eat everything and then there's a nice big sound afterwards to show that you appreciated your meal. Your burp to show that you appreciated your meal. In our culture, we're told you don't do that. That's not polite to do at the table.
I've actually been at a really fancy restaurant and there was a man and he did that. And I almost bursted out laughing, you know what I mean? But he didn't even, you know what I mean? And everybody just tried to ignore it. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that didn't happen.
Oh,
That
no,
didn't happen.
that
You know what I
didn't
mean?
happen.
But it wasn't, I was not at his table. He was at another table. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
because I always like to watch people, and of course that one you couldn't miss.
Mhm.
But anyway, but I think in all honesty, like, you know, being raised, I think that I was kind of taught to kind of leave a little bit of food so that you just, you know, looks a little bit like you didn't eat all of it.
Mhm.
But I don't do that. I
Right.
do eat all of it, and then I don't have any problem with
Right.
that. Yeah, and I don't. Yeah, years ago I did,
Mhm.
but not now. No,
Mhm.
no, it's
It's just whatever.
yeah, yeah. And we just had an IBA meeting up at and they had big sandwiches, and you know, and the thing about a big sandwich is you can't put it down. If you put it down, it loses, it goes everywhere. Remember, like a Big Mac,
Yes.
you cannot you have to hold a Big Mac at all times in your hand.
Can't let a Big Mac down.
Right. Well, I put the sandwich down and it started going everywhere. You know what I mean? But I did finish the sandwich and it was very good. Yeah, it was really good. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, um, anyway, eating a lot. I don't have a problem with people eating a lot.
No.
I don't have a problem with that at all.
Mm-mm.
Eat whatever you feel.
Eat what you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
And if you need more, then go back.
Mhm.
Whatever you need. You know what I mean?
As a person who cooks a lot, I like to see people enjoy my food and eat a lot and
Absolutely.
get full.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
if they have fixed them a little plate full and they don't eat it all, I'm like, then as a cook, I'm like, what did I do wrong?
Right.
I didn't do a good meal, and then I start beating myself up
Yeah.
because I didn't fix the food to their liking.
Right.
You
And
know?
I think on and I'm not over here advocating for eating a lot, but I think whenever you go and I'm talking on the move all the
Mhm.
time,
Mhm.
and you know, I feel like I always feel like a fireplace, you have to rekindle, you have to put more
Yeah,
fire, you know what
right.
I'm saying?
Mhm.
Right? You know, I
Mhm.
mean, if you're
Mhm.
going a lot, you have to stoke those fires,
Mhm.
right? You know what I mean,
Right.
to keep you going, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
I do tend to.
We had a pitch in this week at work, and I made crock pot spaghetti.
Oh,
Was what I made, because that way it could stay hot all day long
Mhm.
for the different shifts and whatever.
that was nice.
And I was pleasantly surprised when I picked the crock pot up. It was bone dry.
Oh, I'm surprised someone
That
didn't
made
lick
me
that.
that made me feel good. That made me feel good.
I would have tilted that crock pot up and then licking that, right? Oh, I bet it was delicious.
Made me feel good.
Yeah, well, you should feel good. And yeah, I bet it was delicious. But boy, that sounds good though. You can't beat spaghetti. And
Mhm.
today at Mama Rose's, yeah, remember the buffet
The
today?
buffet today.
Don't even get me started with that. Yeah, yeah,
Love their pizza.
I do too. All right, so eating a lot and finishing your plate. Women maybe think about it a little bit more. Men do not. Maybe I. Okay. Number 12, body hair. Women think about it. Yes. I mean, have we shaved our legs? You know what I mean? Did we shave our legs or did we not?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And men do not care.
No,
No.
most.
Most.
There
Well,
are
that's true.
there are
Yeah.
some men that stay very well groomed when it comes to body hair.
Yeah.
You know,
That's true.
I think that has changed over the last 20 years. Because you know, I know when I was little, men didn't shave one hair on their body, except maybe their face.
Yeah.
But
Right.
now, you know, there's body grooming with like the arms or the legs, like they, you know,
Mhm.
some that's normal, more normal now than it used to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think, yeah. And I do think that I probably am a little more cautious about that, like making sure I try to groom, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
make sure the legs are shaved.
Well, the good thing is, as I get older, the less hairs on the legs to worry about. You know, so
or yeah, or it's a little quicker, maybe quick to
it gets
shave.
a lot finer too. It's not as coarse as when you were younger.
Yeah.
It gets finer.
13, going to celebrations without gifts for the host. Men do not care. Women do think about that.
I think I don't think that's necessarily a must like it used to be ages ago. Do you think? Like, do you really take gifts to every time you go to a party?
I try to. Yeah, I'm
Really?
because that was, yes, I
Maybe it's
cannot.
me then. Maybe I'm wrong. I
No,
don't.
no, I'm
I
not saying
don't.
I'm right or wrong. No, I try to. No, I try to bring something. Yeah.
I don't.
But that's, you know, I mean, that's just, yeah. It might be something little, I mean, it doesn't, not, but yeah, I definitely, and I don't mean to be rude, but like my husband, like he doesn't think about that. No, that's not in his, I mean,
I don't either.
his wars.
If I'm invited to a party, I don't think about taking a hostess gift.
Well, neither does Greg White. Yeah. So like I'm like, well, get something, what I mean, in my hand, and then I can see he's happy that we did it, but he's not thinking about it. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah. Number 14, audible toilet blast.
What?
I don't know. Yeah. So I'm gonna leave. Yeah.
We probably don't want to touch.
Yeah,
that
let's
subject.
get away from that one, and then I'm gonna leave 15. Okay, so there we are. The top 13 things. Okay, yeah, we're gonna leave all that. Yeah,
because I think I knew where it was going.
Yeah, I
That's
didn't.
probably not a good one.
Right. Okay, so it looks like actually this is kind of a funny story, and a man discovered he accidentally bought back his stolen car. Okay, interesting. If you love your vehicle and it's stolen, and would you try to replace it with the exact same car as much as possible? A 36-year-old man in UK named Jan Valentine woke up a couple months ago and realized that his car has been stolen out on his driveway. Well, that's horrible.
That is horrible.
It was a black Honda Civic. And he was upset and because he really liked his car. Okay. He reported it and did all the insurance paperwork, but the car was never found. So he went out to buy a similar replacement. He found a perfect match at a used car dealer about an hour away and bought it for $26,000. That's when things started to really feeling strange. The car wasn't detailed and there was stuff inside like a piece of a tent Christmas tree pine needle, of a piece from a tent Christmas tree pine needle, and some candy bar wrappers. The debris didn't seem like trash. It felt familiar, but maybe everyone has that built up in new cars, even kind of like candy bars. But get this, he was messy around he was messing with the car's navigation, and he saw his address.
My goodness.
And his parents' address were in the system history.
Oh my goodness.
He said, I nearly crashed, to be honest, because I was in shock. My hands were shaking. My heart was pounding. He took it to the dealership and they confirmed that it was his car. The VIN number, mileage, and plates had been tampered with and altered. But the key was the same key that he had for his old car. He called the police and they couldn't believe it either. It sounds like the thieves did all the cloning work to change the car and then sold it to the used car place, which was duped, right? As far as we know, there hasn't been any arrest, and he still is in the process of trying to get his money and deposit back from the vehicle. It sounds like it could be a happy ending, assuming he's able to get the money situation sorted out. Still, he says it doesn't feel like he's done any good because it feels like he's done something a bit stupid. But I don't know that. I mean, you would trust that. I mean, I can see that. You know what I mean? Like, so you like that car and you go and you find exactly the same car. Maybe I'd be a little suspicious, but I don't know that would you? I mean, if they changed all that information, some of the information and stuff.
Yeah, I'm probably with him though. If I'd seen like the little trashy stuff, I'd be like, "Huh, that's interesting,"
Yeah. Well, peanut M&Ms.
Right.
If there's peanut M&M bag in there.
Yeah.
I know.
You
I'd be a little suspicious of that.
How weird is that he bought his own car back that was stolen?
I know.
But that's horrible for him.
Right? Yeah. I feel bad.
Did he get his money back?
No, they're working on it. He doesn't feel like it's victorious yet. Victorious yet.
It's
No,
not.
victorious yet. No. No victory yet.
Not when you're buying your stolen car.
No, I'd be kind of livid.
Yeah.
$26,000.
That's a lot.
One, if he had to go get a loan, I mean, then you got to, you got that loan. I don't know if I don't know how that all will work out. I don't know if everybody's going to be. All right. The latest serious health risk paper receipts. Okay. Have you ever stood around while different places are printing out the 3 mile receipt and thought, come on. Well, looks like health researchers say that the thermal paper receipts often have high levels of forever chemical called BPS. It's similar to BPA, which is in plastics. You've probably seen the label BPA free. I never paid attention
I
to
never
that.
paid attention to that.
The BPS is receipts with a hormone disturbing, and the estrogen can throw off normal functionings of the body. Oh my goodness. Including your metabolism, your growth and development, and reproduction. The chemical can be absorbed through skin while handling the paper receipts. Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy. And supposedly holding a BPS laced receipt for just 10 seconds can have the serious health consequences.
Really?
So this is serious concern or just fleeting internet concern. It's hard to say. A new discovery, scientists have been researching the harmful effects of BPS for a while. In 2021, German researchers warned that it could seriously damage human brains and studying its effects on goldfish. Well, you had me for a while, but then when you start talking about researching goldfish, I think goldfish, what they have 5 seconds brain span. Remember, didn't know what they said?
Is it?
I think it's like 5 seconds. Do you remember in
Dory?
No, well, wait, hang on. Now I love that. Yeah, I do love Dory. But I was thinking 50, was it 51st Dates? Remember
51st Date.
Yeah, they talked about the brain span of a goldfish.
That was a good movie.
That's a really good movie. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know how they got the brain span from a goldfish. But anyway, it's known that IBS was a thermal paper with paper receipts. The one reason is they're not recyclable. It's the news now because the Center for Environmental Health conducted a study recently and found that many retailers are using thermal receipts, which is highly levels of BPS. This is good. This is like a good PSA. Public service announcement. They're planning to sue retailers who continue to use them without providing clear warnings on the receipts. If you're an employee who handles receipts, they suggest using gloves. They're also telling consumers to decline paper receipts whenever possible.
Interesting.
Very interesting, because I thought just the opposite. You're supposed to keep your receipts. You know how they always say, keep your receipts, keep your receipts.
Right.
Ooh, well, you have to wear gloves, right?
Yeah.
10 seconds, Holly. I mean, very good.
That's not long at all.
No.
Especially like if you're at a place like Sam's Club, you have to hold that receipt and show it until you get
absolutely
to the end.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or if you're at Walmart or another short store, you can get your receipt and throw it in the bag, and it's probably not going to be 10 seconds. But
right. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay, real quick, the 15 best opening lines in rock. Okay, this is rock and roll. The Bee Gees, Staying Alive. There we go.
Yeah,
Staying
like
Alive. Okay, Bruce Springsteen, Thunder Road. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Steve Miller Band, The Joker.
Yes.
The Who, Won't Get Fooled Again. Journey, Don't Stop Believing. How many times?
That
you know what I mean? That's
Love
just
that one.
Nirvana, Come As You Are. The Beatles, Let It Be.
Oh,
Let
the
It Be.
Beatles.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The Eagles, Hotel California.
Awesome song.
Eagles, all the way.
All the way.
Rolling Stones, Sympathy for the Devil. Sinead O'Connor, sorry. Nothing Compares to You. Yeah. Space Oddity, David Bowie. Yeah. Bohemian Rhapsody, Queen.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, Queen. Yes, Queen.
I was trying to. I was going to sing a little bit, but I don't know if I can do it this morning. I was trying to say, okay, hold on.
Do it.
Now I'm going to embarrass myself over here. Prince, Let's Go Crazy. I love that. Smashing Pumpkins, Bullet and Butterfly Wings. So there we go. These are some of the best opening lines in rock. Okay. Great rock songs need great opening lines, right? Well, here we go. Those are the ones. There they are.
Love it.
There you have. All right, Holly, we got to get out of here.
Okay.
A lot going on at Salem Crossing. You guys getting ready for the spring. Spring is sprung and
Gearing up for our Nurses Week
Ah.
and then Nursing Home Week. Those are both in May. Yeah, we're going to do
My-
a little derby stuff too. And yep, gearing into it.
you
Mhm.
go, girl.
Mhm.
Look at you.
Yep.
Look at you.
Can't wait.
I know. And you go all out.
We love dress up.
I
Mhm.
Yeah, any day. Any day is a party day at Salem Crossing.
Every day.
All right, let's thank our sponsors this morning.
We'd like to thank Meadowview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Roses, Fox Pearly Wealth Management, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Marshall Monuments, McAllister Lane Consulting, First Harrison Bank, Louisville Bats, Schneck Hospital, and Springs Valley Bank and Trust. Thanks so much to our sponsors.
Yes, very, 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 very proud of our sponsors, and thank you for all that they do. And don't forget, I know I want to say Mama Roses has got the wonderful going on the Holly, what we love.
We love it.
Our wonderful buffet today.
Mhm.
So, and that's all you can
We
eat.
love the buffet.
And yeah, nobody judges you how much you go back for.
No.
All right, have the best Friday ever.
You too.
Thank you.